Welcome, brave ones. On this channel, we don't just watch horror animation. We peel back each story to expose the rot beneath, share perspectives, and connect through the darkness. Tonight, we dive into a grotesque reflection of our digital age, a world obsessed with views, filters, and perfection. It's the story of a nameless girl who longed to be seen in the flood of beauty influencers and mukbang stars. One live stream changed everything. A swallowed serum, a viral moment, and a horrifying discovery that the internet doesn't crave beauty, it craves spectacle. And remember, what you're about to see is a fictional story, inspired by real trends that blur the line between fame and self-destruction. As you watch, ask yourself, how far would you go for attention? And what happens when the audience won't let you stop? Comment your thoughts below, hit like, share this with fellow night dwellers, and tap super thanks to keep this dark journey alive. Now, let's begin.
Mukbang was everywhere. Everyone was doing it. Every time I opened YouTube, someone was stuffing food into their mouth like they were on a timer. The louder the slurping, the more views. I figured if they could do it, I could too. I set the lights, curated a pastel aesthetic, a table full of noodles, mochi, chicken wings, sauce dripping like blood. Then, reality hit. I didn't even make it through 1/5 of the spread. My stomach clenched. I vomited mid-stream. No one watched. No one cared. That night, I realized something cruel and honest. Normal doesn't trend anymore. People don't follow you because you're good. They follow you because you're memorable, weird, uncomfortable, unforgettable. So I pivoted to makeup. Beauty content always had loyal eyes. I wasn't a guru, but I knew enough. Contour tricks, dewy foundation, liner wings sharp enough to kill. I started going live, trying looks, doing get ready with me, whispering affirmations with fake confidence. And then it happened. In the middle of one stream, while demonstrating a serum dropper, a drop slipped past my lips. It tasted like perfume and ammonia. I gagged, my face twisted in revulsion. The comments exploded. They called it iconic, chaotic energy, too real. I didn't expect it to go viral, but the next day, the clip had over 600,000 views. People shared it, memed it, reenacted it. She ate the glow. Me accidentally eating shampoo as a kid. For the first time in my life, I was trending. PR packages started arriving. Lipsticks, masks, foundation sticks, perfume oils. Brands asked me to unbox, to review, to smile prettier. I felt like I'd made it. But fame is like sugar on the tongue. Sweet, fast, and then gone. A week later, views tanked again. The brands moved on. The inbox went dry. I paced my tiny apartment, eyes twitching from caffeine and ring light glare. I needed to be shocking again. I needed something grotesquely beautiful. What if I combined mukbang with makeup? The first time was rough. I applied blush, posed for the camera, and bit into the compact. The powder crumbled in my teeth, dry and bitter like old chalk. My tongue went numb. My throat itched. I forced a smile. It smells good. I lied. So it must taste good, right? I edited it to perfection. Bright filters, jazz music, kawaii overlays. Then I uploaded. Next morning, 2.7 million views. People were horrified and obsessed. Some mocked me, some called me mentally ill, but others thought I was faking it. It's just candy shaped like makeup. She's trolling. No way she actually ate that. The crunch sound is edited. They thought I was a liar, so I decided to prove them wrong. I scheduled a live stream. Real makeup mukbang, nothing fake. Watch me eat. I arranged the table like a banquet from hell. A lip gloss charcuterie. Sheet masks folded like crepes. Serum-filled wine glasses. Cotton pads soaked in toner, stacked like macarons. The viewers flooded in. 20k viewers, 50k, 90k. I raised a lipstick to my mouth, bit down. The wax snapped like bone. Bitter oil filled my mouth. I chewed slowly, staring straight into the lens. Comments flew by. She's actually doing it. WTF. Art? This is art. The more I ate, the easier it got. I found textures I liked. Glossy, velvety, crumbly. There was something deeply satisfying about it, like I was feeding a hunger I never knew existed. My body didn't like it. Not at first. I got dizzy. My tongue swelled. My stomach felt like it was lined with fire. But I didn't stop, because the numbers kept rising. I was finally being seen. The brands dropped me, of course. Some sent cease and desists. Others ghosted me. But new people found me. Dark corners of the web that celebrated extremity. They dared me to go further. Drink setting spray. Eat a face mask whole. Let's see you swallow glitter. And I did. Every time. Soon, I couldn't go a day without it. Off camera, I snacked on powder compacts. I kept a palette by my bedside like comfort food. My skin turned raw. Red patches crept up my neck. My eyes leaked. I scratched until I bled, but I covered it up. With more makeup. Always more makeup. For my magnum opus, I planned the beauty banquet. I spent days curating it, baking foundation into cookies, melting lipstick into sauces, turning mascara into syrup. I lit candles, adjusted the camera, scheduled the live stream. When I went live, 100,000 people joined within minutes. The chat screamed. Some were terrified. Some were mesmerized. I was high on validation. I bit into a sponge. It tasted like heaven. My throat tingled. My chest bloomed with warmth. I kept eating. Then, I noticed the rash. Tiny red dots swelling into blisters. My skin was bubbling. My neck looked like boiling wax. Comments flooded. Is this makeup or disease? Filter? No filter? Turn off the stream. But I couldn't stop. I was so close to hitting 1 million live views. So I smiled, teeth smeared with glitter, and swallowed another mask. Then it hit. My throat clenched, like fingers inside me twisting. I couldn't breathe. My vision spiraled. I reached for water, but my arm didn't respond. It just dangled, twitching, like a broken puppet. I collapsed, face first into the table of cosmetics. My cheek burst open on the corner of an eyeliner tube. Blood mixed with blush. The comments kept flowing. Is this performance art? OMG, she's actually dying. Call someone. But no one did. Now I live in fragments, in clips, in sound bites, in every girl who thinks a little glitter in her soup might be cute. You think I'm gone? I'm not. I'm in your algorithm, in every viral makeup prank, in every beauty challenge that goes just a little too far. So next time someone eats something for laughs, next time you watch and say, she's just faking it, remember me, because I wasn't faking. And once you let attention inside, it never stops eating.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a really stark look at something quite disturbing.
Yeah, we are. It's about the dark side of extreme internet fame, where content creation just completely spirals.
Exactly. We're diving into the story of an aspiring creator. Our sources call her Per Ref Guava Shui Shui. Let's just say Shui Shui.
Oh.
It's unsettling stuff.
It really is. This is a deep dive into what happens when that hunger for attention turns, well, literal. It becomes actual consumption.
Yeah.
Our sources really dissect her journey from, trying to be a standard influencer to becoming this figure whose final broadcast is now genuinely studied as body horror. It's clinical now.
And our goal here isn't just to tell a shocking story. We want to unpack the mechanisms behind it, the psychology, the platform pressures.
Yeah.
How someone goes from seeking normal attention to embracing something truly grotesque.
And why people, creators, and viewers start confusing attention with, actual connection or love. It's a dangerous mix-up.
It really is. And it didn't start with the extreme stuff, did it? It started with, well, failure.
Complete failure. Her first attempt was traditional mukbang. The eating challenges that were huge a few years back.
Right. She tried the whole setup. Mountains of noodles, chicken wings piled high, good lighting, the works.
But she just couldn't pull it off. Apparently, she actually vomited midstream in one attempt.
Wow.
And critically, the views. Nothing. Flatlined.
Which is just brutal feedback from the algorithm, isn't it? Zero engagement means you basically don't exist online.
Exactly. And what she took from that, what she really internalized, was this idea that doing things well wasn't enough.
And being normal was definitely not enough.
Right. She actually wrote that her goal became being, and this is a quote, memorable, weird, uncomfortable, unforgettable. That's almost a recipe for disaster right there.
It really is. So she had this goal, this idea of going extreme, but she didn't jump straight there.
No.
She pivoted first into beauty influencing.
Yeah, a seemingly safer space. Tried to tap into that genre's loyal eyes, as she put it. Contouring videos, foundation reviews, that kind of thing.
Hoping for maybe a softer way in.
Exactly. But that pivot just set the stage for the accident, the thing that really changed everything.
The serum incident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was doing a live stream demonstrating some face serum, one of those really thick, perfumey ones.
Right.
And while she was talking, just a tiny drop slipped past her lips.
Oh, wow.
And the source material really hones in on this, describes the taste immediately as perfume and ammonia.
Oh.
The reaction was instant. She gagged, her face just twisted in this pure, uncontrolled disgust right there on camera.
And that was the moment.
That was it. What's fascinating and kind of awful is that the abnormality, the sheer realness of her revulsion, that's what people wanted to see.
Not the perfect makeup tutorial.
No. That accidental, messy, chaotic energy, that resonated way more. The clip exploded, 600,000 views.
And people were calling it iconic, too real, celebrating her lack of composure.
Yeah. And that's the critical point, isn't it? The platform, the data, it told her loud and clear, the more you suffer, the more you break character, the more valuable you are.
It set the pattern immediately. This destructive reward system.
Absolutely. But, internet fame, it's intense but fleeting. Sugar on the tongue, as one source put it.
Sweet, fast, and then gone.
Yeah. The views crashed, the PR packages dried up, the emails stopped.
So the engine needed fuel again.
And now she knew exactly what kind of fuel it craved. The abnormal, the uncomfortable.
So this time it had to be deliberate, a conscious move. She needed something, what was the phrase? Grotesquely beautiful.
Yes. That led to the idea of bridge the failed mukbang with the accidental beauty success. Combined them.
Makeup mukbang.
Essentially, yeah. Turning consumption itself into this bizarre performance art. Her first calculated attempt was pretty direct.
She bit into a blush compact. On video.
And the description of what that felt like?
Yeah.
It's rough. The powder was apparently dry and bitter like old chalk. Said her tongue went numb instantly, throat started itching, but she forced the smile.
And lied.
Said, it smells good, so it must taste good. Just pushed through it for the camera.
And the result.
Instant horrifying success, 2.7 million views, just like that. The concept was proven.
But then comes the twist, right? The audience reaction wasn't just, wow.
No, here's where the feedback loop gets really insidious. The audience, already kind of primed to distrust online content, immediately pushed back. They didn't believe her.
Wait, seriously, Even though she's visibly eating something chalky and reacting,
Yeah.
they thought she faked it.
Absolutely. The comments poured in. It's just candy shaped like makeup. The crunch sound is fake. It's edited.
Wow.
And this wasn't just random skepticism. It hit her right where she lived. Her whole new thing was built on this shocking authenticity.
So people doubt the authenticity.
It forces her to prove it, which means escalating. It becomes a demand for an even bigger, more undeniable physical sacrifice.
Which led directly to the banquet from hell.
That's what the sources call it. A live stream designed specifically to silence the doubters, to prove it was real.
And she really went all out with the setup.
Oh, yeah. A full, terrifying spread. Cosmetics presented like gourmet food. We're talking a lip gloss shootery board.
Like charcuterie, but with lip gloss.
Exactly. Sheet masks folded like crepes, serum served in wine glasses like for a toast, cotton pads stacked like macarons. It looked bizarrely luxurious, but it was all toxic.
And during this live stream, nearly 100,000 people watching live, that's where the psychological shift really happens, isn't it?
Completely. She's chewing through lipstick, and she actually starts describing textures she likes, how the wax snapped like bone. She found appealing sensations in it, glossy, velvety, crumbly.
Despite her body freaking out.
Oh, yeah. She reported feeling dizzy. Her stomach felt like it was lined with fire. But the viewer count was climbing fast.
And that felt good.
It felt more than good. It felt deeply satisfying, she said. Like it was feeding a hunger that wasn't physical. The psychological reward was actively overriding the intense physical pain.
That's the toxic trade-off right there. Physical health for numbers on a screen. What about, brands? Did they stick around?
Absolutely not. Brands that had maybe sent her stuff before, or even ones she'd worked with, they dropped her instantly. Some even sent cease and desist letters. They wanted nothing to do with it.
But that didn't stop her.
No, because the void left by the mainstream brands was immediately filled by, the darker corners of the internet.
The places that celebrate extremity.
Exactly. They found her. And they didn't just watch, they dared her to go further. Drink setting spray, eat glitter, the demands just escalated.
And the line between the performance and her actual life just dissolved.
Completely blurred. That's one of the most disturbing parts of the sources. She stopped distinguishing. She couldn't stop off camera.
Like actually snacking on makeup.
Yeah. Snacked on powder compacts. Kept a makeup palette by her bed, quote, like comfort food. The persona had completely eaten the person.
Jesus.
And her body started showing it. This is where the real physical horror begins. Her skin got raw, red patches everywhere, painful.
From the chemicals, presumably.
And from scratching. She scratched constantly until she bled. But the awful irony, she had to cover it up.
With more makeup.
With more makeup, which just fed the cycle, giving her more material to consume for the next video. It was this horrifying, self-perpetuating loop.
Which brings us to the end. The final performance. Her magnum opus.
Yeah, she spent days planning it. This elaborate beauty banquet designed to look like the most decadent meal ever.
What was in it?
Foundation apparently baked into cookies, lipstick melted down into sauces, mascara mixed into like a syrup. It was meant to be the ultimate spectacle. She aimed for 1 million live viewers.
How many tuned in?
About 100,000 joined pretty quickly when she went live.
And she started eating.
She started with a cosmetic sponge, and she described the taste as heaven.
Heaven. That's terrifying. It shows how completely messed up her senses were.
Utterly corrupted. And the physical breakdown was immediate, almost instant. Tiny red dots appeared on her skin, swelling rapidly into huge blisters.
Oh my God.
Her skin started, the source says, bubbling. Her neck looked like boiling wax.
She couldn't breathe.
Her throat seized up. She was gasping, vision spiraling, trying to keep up the act, keep smiling, while her body was just shutting down. One arm was just dangling, twitching, like a puppet with cut strings.
And then she collapsed.
Fell face first. Right into the table, into that whole toxic display. Blood mixing with the blush, the foundation. But the stream kept rolling.
And the stream didn't stop.
No, and this is the final crushing irony, isn't it? Because her whole performance was always so extreme, so over the top.
The audience couldn't tell the difference.
They couldn't distinguish real crisis from the usual staged horror. The comments were still coming in. Not people calling for help, but people debating.
Like, is this performance art?
Exactly. Or even just, OMG, she's actually dying. Like it was just another piece of content to react to. They just kept watching, passively consuming her death.
That viewership, that inaction, that's her legacy now, isn't it? She's gone, But the content is still out there.
And her voice, in a way, continues through the research, delivering this final warning from, as the sources put it, the other side.
It's the learning.
That her existence continues in the algorithm. Every time a trend goes too far, every time someone pushes themselves for views, she's part of that story now. And her final chilling quote really says it all. If you ever watched me eat lipstick, you are a part of why I didn't stop.
Wow. That puts responsibility back on the viewer, too.
Directly. So what do we take away from this? It's such a devastating, literal example of a problem that touches everyone online, really.
Yeah, it forces us to confront a couple of really big things, I think.
Two main takeaways seem crucial. First, the incredible danger of confusing attention, which is just a metric, right, with actual human connection or love, which is a fundamental need.
They are not the same thing at all.
Not even close. And second, that specific, horrific instruction she left. Never, ever eat something that was literally created to smear on a corpse. It's blunt, but points to the toxicity.
It highlights this relentless demand for more extreme content, doesn't it?
Right.
A demand, the platform's reward.
And the audience demands proof, demands authenticity, which translates directly into creators putting themselves in physical danger.
Yeah.
And that leaves a really critical question for you listening to this, whether you create content or just watch it. Once you let that hunger for attention in, let it dictate what you make or what you click on, does it ever stop? The source material suggests that once inside, it never stops eating.
So we really have to think about that boundary. Where does content end and a genuine crisis begin, especially now, in this age of extreme virality?
It's something we all need to be asking ourselves.
Perhaps the real horror isn't what she ate, but what we fed her. Views, likes, comments, validation. In a world where pain becomes content and decay becomes beauty, who's really to blame? The girl who couldn't stop performing, or the audience that couldn't look away? Her story reminds us that the hunger for fame always ends the same way, consuming everything, even the self. What do you think? Are we victims of the screen, or the ones keeping it alive? Share your thoughts in the comments. If there's another horror animation you'd like me to analyze, let me know. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tap super thanks to support this dark journey. Until next time, stay in the shadows.